Hello and welcome to the Week 3 Monster Pod presented by TheLines.com. Matt Brown, Steven Anders. Joined this week, Ryan Noonan from 4 for 4 if you haven't checked their stuff out. New York Football Giants and the Cleveland Browns. This is 6.5 in favor of the Browns at home over the Giants. 39.5 across the board. Ryan, we said last week when we were on the pod when you were away, it was kind of like, okay, Daniel Jones, if not this week, then when? And while he was able to navigate them to 3 touchdowns, the first time in history a team has ever lost while scoring 3 touchdowns, having their opponent score 0. And that's a very New York Giants and Daniel Jones thing to have happen, that your kicker gets hurt and you can't get it done. Cleveland Browns haven't shown much so far, but the defense has at least been aight so far through this. How do you feel about them winning this game by a touchdown, though?
Yeah, that's almost a bridge too far for me, but it's also very hard because the other side means I have to back Daniel Jones on the road against Myles Garrett and company, and that is also probably a bridge too far. So luckily, Steven likes to absolutely fire at everything, so we'll probably have a take. I lean Giants, probably even a slightly stronger lean to the under. But like, I think both teams have success getting to the other team's quarterback, and that can actually sometimes lead to overs. You get turnovers and different things that can happen to bring in a whole bunch of variance that can kill an under pretty quickly. But the Browns, like, I don't know, like if we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, I don't think it's happening. I think this is what we're getting from Deshaun Watson. That's kind of sucks because this is a fun team in some other instances, but like 2 for 14 on third down. They're one of the worst teams on third downs all season long. Just a lot of question marks here. Teams have been able to really move him off their spot in terms of being able to get pressure, collapsing the interior of that offensive line against them. Really, the entire left side of the offensive line is really been one of the worst in the league when you look at like PFF grades and pressure rate allowed. So I think like Dexter Lawrence gets home for a sack here, some plus money if you're looking for a prop angle on the defensive side. So lean Giants, lean under. I don't feel good about that at all, though, but I think that's probably where I'd have to go.
Doesn't look like we're going to get David Njoku there, Steven, but everybody else was back limited first couple of days, which certainly is a good sign, including those guys on the offensive line that had to miss. Denzel Ward, Zadarius Smith, also limited practice. So, like, we'll see how the injury report comes out later on Friday, but it looks like things are trending towards maybe the healthiest version of the Browns we've seen so far in 2024. It does give me a little bit of pause if Denzel Ward is going to be healthy in this one. I was thinking about just going back for a third week in a row and firing on my Malik Neighbors longest reception thing. It's worked the first 2 weeks. I still might when it's all said and done, because if Daniel Jones is going to give him 15 targets a game, then, hey, look, even Daniel Jones can find him at least 1 in 15 targets somewhere down the field. So again, it seems like that's about the only thing I'm confident in this one, other than the fact that I think I might be forced to play the Browns in Survivor this week, and that makes me very scared and very nervous. But I think that's probably where I'm going to have to go when it's all said and done. How are you seeing this game?
I bet the Giants.
Okay.
It touched 7 Friday morning.
Yeah, it flashed a few times. Yeah.
I grabbed it. I don't think it's the last time we'll see 7 unless Myles Garrett is ruled out. Now, we're recording Friday morning. He did have back-to-back DMPs Wednesday and Thursday. If he's not playing, then I'd still bet the Giants at 6.5. I mean, that's a big difference. And even with him in the game, not 100%, I'm not so sure the Giants' offensive line is underrated here through 2 weeks. If you look at the composite grades, they're ranking out top 10. So it's more Daniel Jones than it is the offensive line, in my opinion, which at least gives me some hope that he can get some protection against the Browns, especially if Myles Garrett is a little banged up or not playing at all. The other thing here, too, is the defense that they're facing. Through 2 weeks, the Giants have faced more too high than any offense in the league, and the Browns don't run much of that at all. So I think that helps free up Malik Neighbors potentially in man coverage. Matt, I think it helps your potential long reception prop. And it's clear to me that they're going to try and feed Malik as much as possible. I think he might be the best player on offense in this game on either side. So, and if you hate Daniel Jones, then you have to really hate Deshaun Watson at this point. I mean, I said it a couple of weeks ago. I'll say it again. Like, this guy has been one of the worst quarterbacks since 2022 in success rate. Only Zach Wilson, Bryce Young, and Davis Mills have been worse. Through 2 weeks this year, his success rate is even worse than Daniel Jones. So this is not a team I ever want to lay a touchdown with at any point this season. So last week was wonky as hell, right? It was like such a Giants way to lose a game, but it also was not really a justified loss. They should have won that game. I'm back on the train here for getting this many points against a quarterback that I have as many doubts about at this point as I do Daniel Jones.
I'll tell you this. I'm back on the train of a punter should be able to make a friggin' extra point. Like in an emergency situation, like it's an emergency situation. You go to practice and you punt, you punt, you punt, you punt, you punt. Go spend 30 minutes kicking extra points at the end of practice. In an emergency situation, you can go out there and you can make a freaking extra point. Like this is not rocket science here. I understand the mechanisms aren't exactly the same, but if you give almost anybody 6 months to practice doing anything, you can do it. And this is a professional athlete who goes out on a field every day and kicks a ball. Yes, in a different manner, but still kicks a ball. If you can't tell me through training camp that you can't train one of these punters to kick an extra point in an emergency situation, I'm calling bullshit and I don't believe on it at all. This blows me away, dude. This blows me away. I cannot stand this when they're like, oh, can't do it. No one can kick a friggin' 31-yard kick. We got to go for it 2 every single time. Like, what are you talking about? This is insane.
It wasn't even like an emergency situation, too. They came into the game with him questionable. Like They knew that he was dinged up and he gets hurt on the opening kickoff. Like, so they weren't completely caught off guard that he was going to be unavailable. It's mismanagement for sure.
It's just wild to me. Come on, guys, get it together. Want to thank Ryan Noonan for joining us here. 4 for 4, guys. If you haven't gone over there, check out everything they do over the site. Been one of the staples for me for a very, very long time, as well as Steven. So be sure to go in, take in all the great work that they do over there. And if you are watching this on the YouTube channel, everything we do, absolutely free. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and let us know in the comment section how terrible we were at picking some of these games. Like we're always in for the criticisms, and let us know which sides that we're just completely wrong on in all of these things. Appreciate it, guys, and good luck on all your week 3 bets.